Hey, what's up guys? We are back at again with the top 5 best decks in Clash Royale right now. This series takes a ton of time to create, so if you guys enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a fat thumbs up on the video. And use creator code SirTag if you guys want to see more videos just like this one. Without further ado, let's jump right into the action. Golem Clone will always be one of the easiest and best decks in Clash Royale. As soon as you get your Golem, you drop it in the back as your first play. When you all in with your Night Witch and your Lumberjack and rage everything up, you'll be taking towers so fast, your opponent won't be able to do anything but rage. When they go in for an offensive play, you easily counter it with either Bats or Skeleton Army for a juicy positive elixir trade. So let's go jump right into a game, 3-crown an opponent, and make them a super sad panda. So jumping right into this game, we are blessed with the best possible starting hand. You guys already know, full send, Golem in the back, baby. Drop your stuff in the left-hand lane, I dare you. So he's going to go in for the Hog Rider. Immediately gets annihilated by the Skeleton Army.
Why are we still here?
Hopefully we can bait out a log. He missed that little Larry. And that little Larry is going to haunt him in his nightmares. He's going to go to bed. He's going to go look underneath his covers. And he is going to see that little Larry. He's going to give him the big scary. I'm able to go in for a Night Witch. Easily clone this up. Because look at this, guys. If the man loses the Ice Wizard, his best answer to the Bats, even if he melts all of the Golem, the Night Witch Bats are amassing a huge parade push upon the tower. So your opponent can have Skeleton Army, they can have Zap, they can even have Ice Wizard and Inferno Tower, but they'll still be a sad panda. And that's what you gotta love about the deck. So let's assume he goes in for another Hog Rider. We're gonna simply counter it with the Lumberjack. We'll get amazing counter push. We'll cycle back to our Golem. So this time he might go in for a Zap and actually hit our Bats. I don't really want to mess around with that too much. Lumberjack is gonna feel the bill. And maybe we can go in for Bats and a Lumberjack push on the left-hand side, because now the Bats are going to get, raged up and get a cheerleader with the Lumberjack. The Lumberjack's actually just going to take out most of the tower there, doing a lot of damage. And if he wants to go Hog Rider on the other side, that's completely okay with me. Generally, with this deck in single elixir, what you're trying to do is build up the biggest push possible and make your opponent switch sides and be like, okay, I want to go towards the lower HP tower, but then I give him a Night Witch parade push, and I can't afford to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in for the Night Witch. We want to get those Bats in front if possible.
Oh,
it's not necessarily going to be easy. We can maybe go in for Skeletons to distract and screw up the targeting of everything. Look at that, guys. The Golem didn't get targeted for the longest time. The Skeleton still finished off the Hog Rider, and that is what you got to do with Golem Clone. You spread your opponents thin, you take towers, and look at the cloned up Golemites about to go and pop right on top of the Skeleton Army. He zaps, but he still doesn't finish off all the Bats. And then we just keep coming through. Barry the Bat is coming back fast. I also love arrows specifically because there's a lot of firecrackers in the meta. If your opponent is thinking that they can go in for minions or minion horde, it's even more funny. So I'm going to Night Witch here. We're just going to shut down the Hog Rider. And I can go in for a Golem Clone in the middle. And this is where the memes go to blast off status. If he Inferno Towers and it locks onto a Skeleton Army, oh, I feel bad for him a little bit. You got to feel bad for your opponent in some situations. And this is one of those moments that he is probably hating me right now. No matter what counters he has, if he's got Fireball, if he's got Zap, it's just not going to do it, man. You're going to get annihilated. You're going to inevitably get 3-crown. If the game goes on any longer, you lose and you get 3-crown and you're just a sad panda. The baby dragon's raged up on the tower. We only need a couple more seconds to be able to 3-crown you, but I don't think it's going to happen in time. So close. Yeah, dude, I know. I'm crying on the inside, too. We didn't lose a single tower, and we almost 3-crowned you with 2 more seconds. It just shows the power of Golem Clone. It's ridiculously easy to play, and that's why it's one of the best decks in Clash Royale. The number 4 best deck in Clash Royale is this Hog Rider Firecracker deck. It finished number 4 in the world last season, and it is played by every professional player in competitive events. When there's thousands of dollars on the line, they trust this deck because if they can keep their Firecracker alive, they can win and outplay any matchup. There are so many different ways of getting damage, whether it's breaking through with the Hog Rider, Earthquake log cycling out your opponent, or getting Firecracker chip damage on the tower. There is always a way to win. So let's go jump right into a game and show you why this is one of the safest and best decks in Clash Royale right now. So jumping into this game, we will show you the best Hog Rider deck in Clash Royale right now. If we Hog Rider on the other side of the Sparky, you guys already know, he can't pull that to the other side. Yes, you can go for a Skeleton Army and a log to shut down all my damage, but you still took a hit because you weren't a mobile gaming athlete. So whenever we see Sparky, it is one of the more difficult matchups with this deck because you do not have that many resets. You only have like Ice Spirit. However,
see ya.
The good thing is I've got a lot of distractions. So I don't think that the Sparky gets a hit. We are playing with fire. I know he could have zapped me, but I felt like he wouldn't have that, guys. He already dropped the log. If he had done the double spells and done me dirty there, yeah, that would have been sad. But I'm like, I gotta be greedy. I gotta go in for the handsome Hog Rider on the other side. I gotta be up more elixir. What am I playing against right now? And this is what we love to do. You know, this is the epitome of why this deck works so well. You do not know what your opponent will do in Clash Royale. You can't comprehend their plays sometimes. But you can do one thing. You can make sure that you'll always be able to defend no matter the situation. This deck strives for success no matter the matchup, no matter what crazy combination of cards that your opponent's going to throw at you, you will have answers. So the Hog Rider, unfortunately, oh wait, oh my gosh, Firecracker, you have 10 million IQ. You didn't target the Magic Archer that was going to activate King Tower. I am so lucky, I am blessed, and we are chilling right now. So we're just going to Valkyrie off to the side. We're going to make sure that we minimize the amount of damage that he gets. Yeah, I know sometimes people miss Magic Archers. Like, they lock onto the tower, and you're like, how did I let that lock? Usually it happens more often with Dark Goblins, though. I'm going to go in for an Ice Spirit here. And another thing that I want to talk about with this deck in particular is you want to use Electro Spirit if your timing of Ice Spirit isn't good. So the reason why you run Ice Spirit and why pros run Ice Spirit is the stun duration is longer than the Electro Spirit. So the person that finished number 4 in the world, he prefers running Ice Spirit because of that. And that's what all the top pro Hog Rider cycle players are running as well. Yeah, this guy, he's just insane. He's literally just fundamentally crazy. So we're going to go in for this. We're going to follow up here. And I think that we're okay. If we just get an Ice Spirit stun, we shut it all down and don't take any damage. As you guys can see, that doesn't really happen with Electro Spirit. But you sacrifice the Valkyrie, so then you can get more value later on. And you know what? The second Valkyrie is going to be cycled. It's going to get sacrificed every single time. And this guy's had enough of it. He's like, yo, let me go and sauce out a Sparky to counter you. And we're like, dude, the Firecracker never dies. That is the first rule of this deck. The Firecracker stays alive to the ripe age of 125. She is still giving me value. She's becoming a grandma. Her kids will have kids. And then they'll have kids. And she'll be the greatest of grandmas and be the greatest card of all time. And that's why it works so well. GG, well played, and peace out, buddy. It was a pleasure ripping your towers and all of your units to absolute shreds. I love this deck, and that's why pro players love it too. Firecracker is beyond broken. The number 3 best deck in Clash Royale has to be this Royale Giant Cycle deck. No matter the meta, this thing has been at the top of the food chain. Seriously, it has answers for everything, and it's pretty unfair. The Royale Giant gets damage from the river, so it's really hard to deny, and that's why it's one of the best win conditions in the game. You've got the Mother Witch to crush all the bait decks, you've got the Dark Prince to obliterate Goblin Drills, and the Mega Minion to destroy any air cards. And if that's not enough for you, if you guys are sick and tired of Golems, Electro Giants, Hog Riders, or a Ram Rider, you guys can easily activate King Tower with the Fisherman and have no worries in the world. So let's go jump right into a game and show you why this deck pretty much counters everything. So jumping right into this game, my favorite play to do with this deck is drop an Electro Spirit at the river. If they activate King Tower, it doesn't matter. I've got Royale Giant. Please, let's go, baby. You just wasted elixir. You dropped something that got damaged by it, and my win condition at the river is going to start to laugh at you as soon as you see it. That's what I love about it. So we're going to Fireball immediately on top of the Mother Witches, so it's not even able to touch my Mega Minion, forcing out some extra elixir from our opponent. And I am amped up. If you guys can't tell, this deck is just really fun to play. No matter what your opponent's doing, they're not going to get value. So I'm going to Fish Boy. It's going to go pull that Dark Prince right into the middle, make sure that both towers are able to shoot it, and follow up with a Royale Giant. So overall, I love doing that because if he goes in for a P.E.K.K.A. or if he goes in for a mini P.E.K.K.A., sometimes it just gets yoinked by the Fish Boy right off of the Royale Giant and they lose the game. Alternatively, if they drop a bait card, I've got the Mother Witch. I get those piggies up close and personal, tanking for the Royale Giant and get infinitely more damage. It's really difficult for your opponent to defend against a Royale Giant that is consistently getting protected by every single one of your cards. So I'm going to go for a Dark Prince in the back. We'll see what he's going to do. Overall, I'm pretty stoked about this. If he wants to go opposite lane, so be it. If he wants to go in for like a Royale Giant counter right now and allow me to cycle one pretty heftily at the river, that would be even better, but unfortunately no such luck. I'm just going to play more passive, log this out, and if he lightnings, that's a huge overcommitment on our end here. So we're going to just be able to shut down the Dark Prince, no damage taken at all. I wonder if it hits the fish boy. I don't think it does. And that's what I like to see. So now we Royale Giant. He's got Goblin Cage. Is looking like it will most likely be an Electro Giant deck from what we've seen so far, and that is also a super strong deck, but I think we'll play a little bit better than him and be able to outplay. If we can go for a Fireball and get the Fish Boy to lock onto the tower, that's a vibe and a half. Even though the King Tower is activated, we still get damage, and he gets one Piggy. That's it. Only thing he got on me here. The way I want to play this is I want to, most of the time, not go in the same lane as Mr. Electro Giant Boy. So I'm going to Dark Prince on the other side. I want to get back to another Royale Giant. Because of our super fast card cycle, we are able to do so. So I'm going to Mega Minion, I'm going to Dark Prince, I'm an Electro Spirit, and we're trying to rely very heavily on a Fish Boy to go and kite the Electro Giant directly into the King Tower, or, you know, make him pretty miserable. So, as you guys can see, it's working wonderfully for us. We are going to go in for a Mega Minion counter as soon as we can. We definitely want to go and pull that thing back. I want to make sure that the Dark Prince is... Oh, wait. Oh, are you serious? Is that the play? Is that the strategy to go in for a tornado on my stuff? Out of all the plays that you could have done, that was the big brain Brian thing. I love to see it. So we'll just log this back. I think we can make sure that we minimize the amount of value that he gets from the Dark Prince with the simple Electro Spirit, and then go in for the Royale Giant at the river. No matter where he goes, we just go opposite lane because it doesn't matter. So we're in a Mother Witch, and I expect him to drop some type of cage or something. We could Fireball on the Brawler and also the... Oh, yes, we hit the Brawler. I was clenching a bit there. I was like, oh, did I finagle myself? Or did we fully calculate that perfectly? And fortunately for us, it seemed really good. So I'm going to go in for a Fisherman here. I want to go for Dark Prince and Mega Minion off to the side in case he wants to lightning me. We haven't really decided what this guy wants to do yet. Definitely need to go in for an Electro Spirit to shut that down and minimize the damage, because it's going to get a lot. As you guys already know, Electro Giant is probably...
How's it going, bros? My name...
one of the best cards in the game right now. We're going to RG in the left-hand side, and we'll see if we can make this happen. Obviously, it's still going to be difficult. I need a Dark Prince. I'm going to take some damage, but with the King Tower activated, we're vibing for sure. And I can Mother Witch to go and turn all of his cards into bacon and get counter push with it. We're really relying heavily on the fact that this guy needs to, at some point, go in for an Electro Giant to break through us. And if he does that, we can make this happen. So we're going to Fisherman to go and kite. We're going to go in for a Royale Giant here. And maybe he decides to go for a Lightning preemptively. Exactly what we needed. And then we Fireball on the Mega Minion and the Goblin Cage, maybe? Nah, I can't do it. So I guess we outcycled the Goblin Cage here. If you can't break through, you're always able to outcycle. So that is one thing that is definitely a great spot for us to be in. We're going to eat some damage on the tower that doesn't matter to minimize the amount of damage that he gets on our units. We're going to Fireball on all that junk, and now we can go for a Royale Giant at the river because we've got a lot of crap coming at you. You're getting piggies in your face, you're getting a log rolling right through, and you need to keep defending, and you can't even do anything else other than that. So it looks like we'll walk away against this guy with a pretty decisive W. It was a bit harder because, yeah, the deck that he's running is a bit busted too. But, you know, if we were playing against an easier matchup, this would be a very, very fast and swift victory. GG, well played and peace out. As you guys can see, even against really strong decks like his, you are able to overcome them just by cycling faster and never allowing them to effectively initiate an Electro Giant push. And the second best deck in Clash Royale is this Wall Breakers Goblin Drill deck. When you go for Wall Breakers plus Goblin Drill, your opponent has to spend way more elixir to even try to defend. I said try because if they go for a Valkyrie or traditional counters, just gets fireballed away and then the goblins still get damage on the tower. Obviously, your opponent's not gonna have much time or elixir to spend on offense against you, but when they do, it's just gonna go right into a Tesla or a fast cycle with fire spirits and skeletons. They'll never break through, but they will break their phones. So let's go jump straight into a game and assert some dominance. So jumping into this game, you gotta move fast. First things first, we're dropping those Wall Breakers front and center at the river, and this man's gonna go drop a Mother Witch. He's gonna get some value, but he also takes a Wall Breaker hit straight to the face. The reason why we like going for Wall Breakers instead of Goblin Drill is they could go for a Dark Prince or a Valkyrie, get splendid counter push, and make you a super sad panda. As you guys can see, his Dark Prince is now out of cycle. The perfect opportunity for the drill.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
We get an Electro Giant. You guys know how much elixir that is? That's basically everything he has. He's already taking so much damage. And the story gets even better from here, guys. We are going to be able to go for Wall Breakers in the other lane and defend this at the exact same time. So watch this, guys. I'm just going to go in for a Valkyrie, finish off the Bomber, make sure that we're able to go and kite the Inferno Dragon a little bit with skeletons, and we should be A-okay. I just don't want the Inferno Dragon to lock onto my tower and we're vibing. He might tornado, so the skeletons are completely and utterly necessary. We're gonna pull the Inferno Dragon back, and his tower better be calling 911. You guys saw how much damage I did at the start with the Goblin Drill? Oh man, it's disgusting. It's so strong. There really aren't bad matchups on the ground for this deck. If you play against Electro Giant, if you play against anything, this is definitely the #1 deck in the world as long as you don't play against Lava Hound Balloon.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
And even then, I've seen it been beat. So we can go in for the Valkyrie here, just go and shut everything down. I should have stopped that. You know, I guess the Mother Witch is allowed to tickle my tower a little bit here, but it's all good. I'm gonna go for the Goblin Drill on the other side. We know that he's gonna try to spam the Electro Giant, but every single time that he does that, he's like, wait, I gotta savor the flavor with the Dark Prince. And then the Fire Spirit jumps on him, and he's like, wait, that's not the vibe, Jake. That's not the strategy. It's not the play. In single elixir, it's so difficult for him to afford the proper answer. So now we just go in for wall breakers, and we're like, oh, you want a lightning? How are you gonna defend your tower now? Oh, you wanna go in for tornado? That's cute. Look at your other side, man. Do you just not have any respect or care in the world about your towers? And his answer would be, yes, Jake, I don't know what to do because this is a bad matchup for me. And it just, he's got Dark Prince, he's got Mother Witch, he's got like some of the best answers in the world to us, and he still doesn't have answers. That's the stupid thing about the deck. It just wins. It just takes towers. I don't really know what you're supposed to do to defend this. I don't know what you're supposed to do to stop it. And I'd love Clash Royale to give me an answer. But what they need to do is give me a big fat nerf to the Goblin Drill again.
Yo, leave me out of it.
So I'm just gonna Fire Spirit. I can go in for another Tesla, or if I really wanted to get frisky with my opponent, I could go for a Drill. This is also later on in a grand challenge at like 8 or 9 wins. And this guy, he just got wrecked. His highest HP tower is lower than our lowest. And that just speaks a lot. He needs to call 911. We left it up for a reason. This Electro Giant deck is the best deck in Clash Royale in 2021. Imagine a Wink Edition that stuns absolutely everything your opponent drops, makes skeleton armies, minion hordes, and bait cards completely irrelevant, and has infinite splash damage hitting anything that targets it. Yeah, that's Electro Giant. If you guys get to double elixir, remove your opponent's buildings with a lightning, there is nothing that stops it. And as a bonus, this deck doesn't lose to Lava Hound. So let's go jump right into a game and show you why this is the best deck in the game right now. Jumping right into this game, this guy is rolling through with the Barb Barrel. Not gonna get a single hit on our tower, but he gets a piggy straight to the face. And the Mother Witch is so versatile. It's able to give you value against Graveyard, automatically destroy bait decks, and of course, no matter what your opponent drops, you're gonna be getting the counter push. So I can Tornado and try to get, you know, a good cycle until double elixir, and that's exactly what we're gonna roll with. We drop the bomber off to the side, and then we've got a Dark Prince coming full fury right at his face. He's not having a good time right now because he sees, hey, there's a Dark Prince at me. I have to drop an Electro Wizard. 4 for 4. Probably an overcommitment with his Fireball early on, and we've realized what he's gonna do. He's gonna be an exceptionally aggressive Panda, and I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay. As long as we get to double elixir, that's where our deck shines. That's where we win games. I'm gonna cycle the Inferno Dragon in the back because I don't expect to be needing that much. If we see Barb Barrel and Electro Wizard, he could have a P.E.K.K.A. Ram Rider deck, which most Electro Giant decks would lose to, but not ours. Our deck beats Lava Hound. It beats everything you could think of, and I love it because I just don't think that this should be allowed in Clash Royale. You know, I love it and I hate it at the same time. I love playing it, but as soon as I play against it, I'm like, ah, oh, Clash Royale, get this out of my face. So I'm gonna go for Dark Prince off to the side, so obviously that makes sure that he's not gonna be able to finish that off with the Mega Knight value. And then the Piggy's tanking for the Dark Prince. Yet again, guys, this is at 10 wins in a grand challenge.
Now to sport with Meredith Sheehan.
So if people are messing up at this point, when they're around top 2,000 in the world, yeah, this happens a lot. I'm not even reaching my final form yet. When we hit double elixir, that's where our stride and success actually happens. But in single, we're relatively weak. When we're able to effectively drop our Electro Giant and not get punished, that's where this deck really works its magic. I'm gonna Lightning. I wanna be able to hit whatever he drops on top too. Sick! If we hit one of those Barbarians, that would have been absolutely fire. But unfortunately, no such luck. I'm still chilling with this. I bomber here. We'll see if he decides to fireball. That's absolutely hilarious, dude. I'm so about it. Give me that King Tower activation. Thank you, sir. I needed that fireball in my knife. I needed that extra value. I don't know why he wanted to give me that King Tower activation. He's like so intent on it. He's like, dude, I'll give you the fireball right now. You know you got it all lined up. Let's hit it. Let's hit that 3-pointer. So Dark Prince is rolling right through. It gets the splash damage on the tower and the Elite Barbarians. And we're going to add insult to injury here. We don't leave any Elite Barbarian left behind. Those things, they go away and they never come back. So we're going to keep getting piggies. I didn't even need to drop my Electro Giant, guys. All right, let's show you the card, all right? It's actually a mythical creature, an unfathomable Pokemon that you probably won't see very often. But I'm not allowed to win the game without dropping it, okay? We've learned, we've decided that we will drop it, and we will walk away with a W, proving that the most magnificent evasive species on this planet is a profound creature. Watch. It's gonna stun the tower. He attacks the tower kills itself. Yeah, he's not having fun. You guys can see that emote? He's crying on the inside, and there it is. He's not having fun. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Consider using creator code SirTag to support the channel, and I hope you have an incredible rest of your day.